Hi, this is Rachel from Ray K Books, and today I'm going to be chatting with Jodi Meadows. Carly Ann West was supposed to be here, but she couldn't make it, unfortunately. So now it's just Jodi and I, which is super fun. So Jodi is going to talk about The Orphan Queen, which is her new release. So Jodi, can you tell people out there what Queen is about?
Orphan Cream is a different book. It's about donuts.
Yeah.
Thank you. It's fine. You know what? I love sugar things and pastries, and yeah, it's just delicious. And so does Wilhelmina, the main character of Orphan Queen.
Yeah.
Loves eating.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. And there's actually a bakery that's very important in the book. So you were right on with that.
What can I say?
Orphan Cream is probably like their star pastry. So Orphan Queen is about an orphaned princess who is fighting to reclaim her kingdom. She has to figure out, one, how to get her kingdom back, and two, how to evade this masked vigilante who hunts people with magic. So not only does Wilhelmina, our princess, have magic in this world where everything is destroying magic, or magic is destroying everything, sorry, she has to not get in trouble for the fact that she is supposed to be dead. Nobody knows she's alive at all. So she's got a lot of problems going on. She and this band of other orphans from her home kingdom are all doing this thing together. It's very dangerous. Several have died.
Oh, that's very depressing, but it sounds like a really good book. So we were talking before that you have a novella out.
Yeah.
You have one book out. So how many books are you contracted for?
For this series, 2 books, 4 novellas.
So how is that? So one book is out, so I'm guessing there's going to be 3 more novellas and then the second book?
Yes, it goes Orphan Queen is the novel, and then Hidden Prince is the first novella, and that came out in June. In September, The Glowing Night comes out. In December, The Burning Hand comes out, and then probably February or March, nobody has told me, and nobody tells me things, so it's cool. But then is The Black Knife, and all these novellas are about the vigilante and his origin story. And then finally in April, we have The Mirror King, which is the new novel. So, and that'll conclude everything. The novellas are technically prequels, but since they spoiled the identity of the Black Knife, I would recommend reading them in between or after.
So I've never really heard about 3 novellas in a row. What kind of sparked that idea before the second and the final book comes out?
I was really interested in how did somebody decide to become a vigilante? And we have tons of vigilante story, origin stories, and it's kind of like a thing in our culture. How many origin stories for Batman have we seen? Or Superman? We've seen a ton of them. Well, Superman's not a vigilante, but still a superhero kind of guy. And so I was really interested, what about this particular one? Because I always knew who he was. And he's not somebody that you would really think, probably going to be a vigilante when he grows up. So I started thinking, what would spark this? And also, there's a cliffhanger at the end of Orphan Queen that has made a lot of people declare their undying hate for me.
Wow.
So, in a nice way, I think. In a nice way.
Okay. If it's a nice way to say it.
It's pretty dramatic. And I thought, well, maybe if I give them 4 novellas in between the 2 novels, they won't hate me quite as much. I don't know if it's helped or not, but at least the first novella, the first novella seems to be doing well. Everybody seems to like it. So, I guess they're okay.
So is there a message in this novel that you want readers to grasp?
There are, in general, several messages in all of my novels. But for Wilhelmina, the main character, this story is really about identity and deciding who you are, what you want to be, what you're going to do with your life, which I think is really relevant to a lot of teens and what they're going through at this age and all these decisions they have to make about themselves. I mean, at 17, 18, you have to decide where you're going to go to college and what you're going to do with the rest of your life. That's a huge decision. So I think that hopefully this probably resonates with a lot of people. And Wilhelmina has quite a bit of responsibility with the whole like princess having to get a kingdom back situation. And how does considering what her kingdom has been through, is she really ready to scrape this kingdom up? I mean, it went to war when she was young, and everything was just destroyed. All the nobles who were in the capital city were killed. So there's not a lot of people left there to help her know what to do. And she's been living on the streets for a long time. And, her parents were killed. The king and queen were just killed right in the courtyard in front of her and everybody else. So there's a lot of stuff going on in that kingdom that, it's hard enough to rule on a good day. And there are not a lot of good days for her in this kingdom. So she's got a lot of responsibility to deal with.
So is there, in your last series, there was a little bit of a love interest. Is that in here too?
Definitely. I try not to write books without love interest because they don't interest me quite as much. I love that first romance and how it feels, like the first time you really feel like, yeah, this is the one. I love that feeling and writing about it and getting to capture it.
So I see in your background you have your book cover, Incarnate.
Yeah, for when the book released, one of my friends had this, I think it's watercolor or something. I don't know. I'm not really good at identifying, but one of her friends did it, and she gave it to me. It was actually Joy Ensley, who wrote Rites of Passage, and she was there at my book launch for Incarnate. So
that's really cool.
It was very stealthy too. We rode to the bookstore together, and she was like, "Hey, let me stop over here. I have something. I'm getting framed. If we can just stop there." And I was like, "Oh, okay." We stopped, and she came out with a package, and I had no clue. And then after the lunch, she was like, "Hey, this is for you." And I was like, "Oh, okay, thanks."
That's really cool. So have you gotten any other fan art?
Some, yeah, not in my house, but some appears sometimes. There was a really cool one that I saw recently with the kiss scene in Orphan Queen. I was very excited to see that one. And there are some other really good ones. I've seen a lot on Tumblr, like, are they called mood boards?
No idea.
They look like collections of pictures to me that like seem to represent the book. And I love seeing them for other books, and I've seen a few for my books too, and it's just always thrilling. I love getting fan art.
Okay, so can you tell us a little bit about, so I just got an email from Carly, so I'm going to check where she is. And tell us a little bit, some story. You were at RT convention, and you told me how amazing that was and how you loved it. So tell me a little bit about that while I see where Carly is.
Okay. So yeah, one of the great things about RT convention is you just get to meet so many readers. It's called the RT Book Lovers Convention, and it really is just filled with people who love books. My favorite day was the busiest day, but it was Teen Day, when we had this huge giant book fair where all the authors who were there, like over 500, sat in a giant ballroom together. We signed books, people came up. I had my cloak that's not in this room, I'm sorry, but I had a cloak made that sort of matches the cover for Orphan Queen, and I bring it with me a lot of places. And so I would get people there who were getting Orphan Queen signed to wear the cloak so we could take a picture with them in it. So that was really fun. It lasted for a couple of hours. After that, like that evening, we had the teen party, which was tons of fun. It was mostly teens and some parents there. And HarperCollins, my publisher, had a zillion books filled up in the goodie bags. There might have been some from other publishers. I don't know who was in charge of it. But anyway, I know tons and tons of teenagers just got copies of books in these goodie bags that only they were allowed to go through the goodie room and get them. And we did more pictures, we did some games, we had a great time. I got to meet so many readers that I had never had the chance to meet before. So was a lot of fun. It's one of the greatest things I think about traveling and getting to go do events and tours and stuff. I love getting to meet readers.
Whew! Ended just on time.
All right.
Woo! Okay.
I could tell. You looked like you were getting ready to end it.
Okay. So how has your writing changed from the Incarnate series to now?
Like my writing process or my writing period?
Just like how, good question. How about like just your writing in general?
Okay. I always hope that I'm improving with every book. That's the general goal, is to always get better. I'm still very, very proud of my first book, Incarnate, and all the books in there, but I'm sure that if I looked, and this is why I don't look, I'm sure if I looked, I could see sentences like, oh, I wish I had tightened that a little bit, or, I wish I had made this a little bit stronger. I don't look, so I don't know. I just like to assume that it's still perfect. But I do try to learn and grow with every book I write. I want to always be getting better. I never want to get to a point where I think, yeah, this is good. I'm good right here. So I don't know. It's just in general striving for improvement.
It's very true. That's a good goal. Very proud of you. So speaking of, is there anything in the Incarnate series that you wish that you've changed? You look back and you're like, oh, I wish I did this better, or this character shouldn't have actually said that, or something like that.
Not anything really huge. I mean, Incarnate was my 17th finished manuscript. I'd written a bunch before then, so it wasn't like my first go at a book. So I am, like, again, I'm really, really proud of it, and I love the whole story. I'm sure if I looked back, I could find sentences that I wished I would tighten a little bit, or there's a continuity error in there, and it shows up only a couple of times, and only people who really care will notice it. I know about it. It really bothers me. I won't tell you what it is, though, because I don't want to ruin it for you.
Okay.
But yeah, if I could go back, I would fix that.
All right. So what books are you reading now? Here's Carly.
Hi, Carly.
Carly.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi. So we're live right now. I'm so glad you can join us.
Yeah,
Very
I'm
excited.
so sorry. Technical challenges.
Yes. So everyone, this is Carly Ann West, and she wrote The Murmurings, which is super exciting. I love that book. So Carly, I'm going to kind of stray away from Jodi a second so we can introduce Carly. Can you tell us a little bit about The Murmurings for people?
Sure. So The Murmurings follows Sophie David as she tries to uncover the mystery behind the death of her sister, Nell. Sophie is fairly certain that that was not the case, and she soon uncovers the real mystery behind what happened, and it's far more sinister. Brings her through some crazy turns and twists through the dark underbelly of a corrupt psychiatric ward.
All right. Thank you so much. So let's begin. I would actually like to play a game with both of you. You both have been in live chats before, so I think you've done it. It's Would You Rather games.
Okay.
So for those of you who don't know, Would You Rather is a game where I go, would you rather eat apples or oranges for the rest of your life? And then they have to say either apples or oranges. So feel free to have a conversation about your answers, or if you disagree, just don't agree or something like that. So the first one, ladies, is would you rather read only trilogies or standalones?
Oh, that's really hard. But I think trilogies. I like digging into worlds and characters and people.
What about you, Carly?
That's so impossible. I don't know.
I know.
I might say standalones just because it would allow me to consume more worlds.
That's true. Yeah, you make a really good point. Oh,
Very
this is
true.
a hard question. Okay. Would I
Okay.
rather lose my left arm or my right arm?
I know. Next question, Rachel. Too hard.
These are only going to get harder. So.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, would you rather only read female or male authors?
Female. I have so many friends. They would disown me if I stopped reading their books forever. So.
Impossible. I mean, I guess I have to agree just because so many of my friends are female authors, and you gotta girl power, right? But
yeah, gotta support them. Gotta support my friends.
Can we disclaimer this? Can we footnote that there are some tremendous male authors out there too?
Very true. There's some amazing ones, but these questions are not meant to be easy.
Oh, you're so mean, Rachel.
I know.
I need to pick apart your brain.
All right.
So the next one is, would you rather shop at Barnes & Noble or Amazon?
Barnes & Noble. I like physical stores.
I'm a mom of two really, really, really little kids right now, so I'm going to have to go with something that lands at my feet. So I guess I'd have to say Amazon.
You can buy a lot of stuff on Amazon, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So that's that. You have toothpaste delivered to your door.
Yeah, I think that actually Amazon does more than Barnes & Noble when it comes to indie authors.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
That's very true.
Would you rather all books become movies or TV shows? So, instead of The Hunger Game being movies, it would only be made into a TV show.
I think TV shows, because while there are some books that translate very well to film, I think there are more books that probably translate well to TV. And I think it's probably easier to, not necessarily easier, but I think there are more that would be better for TV. And it would be easier to switch from movie to TV version on that. I don't know. I feel like I'm not articulating that very well. But TV, just because I feel like it would be a better medium for most books.
Mm-hmm.
I'm with you on that one. I think, yes, exactly. I love an episodic experience and kind of serialized stories, and I feel like that lends itself better to a medium that's that you can spread it out. It doesn't have to be. And I love movies, and I love going to the movies, and it's an event. But when it's over, and I like to nibble, enjoy and graze.
And I think you can do something that's effectively a movie as a miniseries.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's kind of why I love HBO, original programming and Netflix and things like that, because you can watch it all at once. You can just binge, right?
It's like a long movie.
Exactly.
Are you guys Netflix binge watchers at all?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. I have to pull away, and every time it's are you still watching? I feel judged. Not very nice things to it. Yes, I'm still watching. I know it's been 3 episodes, but I am still holding on while I get the ice cream.
So what are you guys binge watching right now?
Orange is the New Black.
I've heard so many good things about that one.
That's so good. It's so good.
My husband and I are watching Dexter right now.
Dexter.
I have never seen it before, so...
Have you heard anything about the last episode?
I have heard that I might want to skip it, but now I'm so curious that I have to know.
Okay. Good luck! Emotionally. Okay. So, because I didn't really, my roommate was kind of binge watching it, and I'm like, I'll just watch a few episodes. I watched the ending, and I'm like, are you okay? I was patting her. I'm like, are you okay? Are you going to survive this? So I'm going to have to do that to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it now. It's built up in my head.
All right. So the next one is, would you rather read 5 pages per week or read 5 books per week or 5 books per month?
Yeah. Well, books per week. I mean, do I have time to do this? Is there like an
Yes.
extra? Okay, then yes, per week, totally. Imagine how fast I would get through my book pile.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I just need the time to do it. I would do it now, right? Wouldn't you, Carly?
I mean, I would, absolutely, like, removing limitations like my slow reading comprehension, because
Yeah.
I'm such a slow reader, and I feel like I have to read things like 5 times because sometimes I'm distracted, and even if I'm really engaged, I have to really, like, zero in. So
Right.
I think if we removed the fact that I can't read fast, then yes, 5 per week for sure.
Okay, yeah.
So the next one is, would you rather only read your top 20 favorite books over and over, or always read new ones that you haven't read before?
Only read new ones.
Always new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather be a librarian or a bookseller?
I don't know. Either way, I get to push books into people's hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, okay. Do libraries have cafes in them? If our hypothetical library has a cafe in it, then I'd probably go with library.
Okay, I think there's some here in Minnesota and even New York where I live right now where there are cafes inside the library.
Okay, then yeah, I'll do that.
I'm going to go with library because there is a cafe in the Seattle Public Library in the main branch, just throwing it out there. But also, I love the smell of like old books, like used books.
That's nice
like
too.
The older the better. So
yeah, and I think that it's easier to push books into people's hands if you're not saying, all right, and that's $79.
Exactly.
Okay, so the next one is, would you rather only read your favorite genre or every genre except your favorite?
Only read my favorite genre.
Yeah. I guess me too. Yes. There's the responsible like voice back here going, yeah, but you learn more if you venture out and explore in other areas, but then I want to read what I want to read. So
Right,
I want to read what I want to read.
Yeah, I mean, reading should be enjoyable. And if you're not reading your favorite stuff, then you're probably writing in your favorite genre too. So you're not getting to know what else is going on there. And plus, we're both only reading new books.
Precisely.
Yeah.
In a library with a cafe and and like 5 a week, so we're good.
Yeah, we're reading insanely fast. I wonder if publishing can keep up with us.
Exactly.
All right. So
how wide is this genre? Like, is it like, does fantasy cover like paranormal and magic realism and all of that?
Well,
or are we getting into like subgenres?
No, I think that are paranormal and fantasy like that different? Do you think they could like be the same?
I think paranormal is like a subgenre of fantasy.
Yeah. Then fantasy covers like the umbrella of all the subgenres.
That's not even a question. I thought you said these were hard.
So I guess it's the first one that was hard. So the next and the last ones are, would you rather only read physical books or ebooks?
Physical books.
Physical books.
Very nice.
I don't even own a Kindle.
Okay, and that concludes our Would You Rather game. Yay! Thank you for playing. So I have one more game that actually I've played once and I haven't played since, but I want to play it with you guys.
All right.
It's called Mary, Kiss, and Cliff.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you 3 book characters, and I want you to tell me which one you want to marry, which one you want to kiss, and which one you want to push off a cliff.
Okay.
So if you haven't read this book, then we will skip it.
Okay.
The first one is from Twilight. Edward, Jacob, or Bella?
Okay, I think I'm good. Do you want to go, Carly? Or do you
No,
mean
you go first.
Okay. I think I would marry Jacob, kiss Bella, and push Edward off a cliff.
Those were my choices too.
You guys are so alike. Okay.
That's what I do when I go to a restaurant with somebody and I'm like, I don't know what to get. You go first, and then I just copy whatever they want. Like, yeah, it sounds really good. I'm getting that.
You made every option sound delicious. Done.
Okay. The next one is for Harry Potter.
Okay.
So it is Harry, Ron, or Snape.
So you're going to say Hermione.
Nope.
Darn, that would have been too easy, I guess. You go first.
I feel like, oh, well, I mean, I guess marry Harry, kiss Ron, push Snape off a cliff. But I don't want to push Snape off a cliff. That's the problem. Because I dig him. I don't know. But I guess that has to be my answer. Yeah, it's got to be that.
Out of all of them, he has the greasiest hair.
It's true, though.
So, it just, helping you feel better about your choice. So I'm going to push Snape off the cliff, too. But I don't know. I'm not really sure which one I would want to, tie myself to for my entire life. That's a big commitment.
I know.
I think maybe I would marry Ron and kiss Harry, actually. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not 100% on that, but I have to make a choice, so.
Life's full of hard decisions.
I know. And we're talking about, like, when all of these characters are, adults, obviously.
Adults, yeah.
Yeah, because otherwise I'm like, well, that's kind of creepy, actually. Okay.
I'll make that footnote, too.
They're adults when we're marrying, kissing, and killing them. Or pushing them off a cliff so that they just have, like, shattered bones.
Exactly, you don't know. I mean, you don't know their fate after.
There's totally a chance that they're going to live after this.
Right. It could be like a foot tall. You don't know.
Yeah. Nobody said how big the cliff was.
No.
Sorry, Amir.
It's okay. We've just been debating about the cliff.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And whatever. I never have technical difficulties.
Yeah. So, yeah, my internet just, like, closed. So I'm here. If you want to keep debating, keep debating.
I think we're good.
Okay.
I think we're good. Figured out.
Good. So.
We have some footnotes to add to the, the recording, but other than that, you're good.
All right. So the next one is Hunger Games.
Okay.
Would you marry, kiss, or Cliff, Peeta, Katniss, or Gale?
Okay. I think I would marry Peeta, kiss Katniss, and Cliff Gale.
I think I would marry Katniss, kiss Gale, and Cliff Peeta.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I don't.
Well, I mean, like, Katniss is a good long-term choice because she can keep you, like, hunt deer and stuff for you. I was thinking about the carbs.
She's a solid partner. Yeah, no, I hear you. I'm still sticking with her. She's a strong chick.
I don't blame you at all. Yeah, that was a hard one.
Yeah, these are tricky. Tricky.
Yeah. Okay, what's next?
Did we lose Rachel?
Time to tap dance.
I want to ask you about your latest, but I don't know if you guys already talked about that before I got on, or if I'm spoiling it, and Rachel's going to ask us about that later.
We talked about it a little bit. Actually, I was reading some of yours before we got started. And I noticed you tend to write about outsiders. Is
Yeah.
that important to you, or like tell me more about this? So all your characters just come as outsiders?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They
Okay.
absolutely do. I think I don't know that I'm not sure there's a teenager out there, maybe I'm wrong about this, but I suspect there are not many teenagers out there who feel like they're really in.
Yeah.
Like
No,
they
I
are the
agree.
inside.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'd hate to say, yeah, I was really the outsider when I was growing up. Maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. But I don't ever remember feeling like I was in. I had made it. That's it. Like I am included.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like that. And I
Okay.
kind of think nobody ever feels that way.
Yeah,
So
I
that's
agree.
just, do you agree? Like,
I
did
do.
you experience that in high school?
Oh, totally. I mean, I was on stuff, like I had the band and dance team and stuff, but I still always felt like kind of weird and out of place. So yeah, I understand exactly what you mean. Like it doesn't matter how much you've made it, you still feel out there when you're a teenager. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um,
I remember very distinctly one day sitting in the hall, hanging out with my boyfriend, and watching a slew of kids go by. And everyone was like, hey, Carly, hey, hi, oh, hi. And I knew a lot of people. And I was struck by the fact that I knew a lot of people. But I didn't feel like I belonged in any of those groups that kind of marched by. And I thought that was telling. And I was happy that I knew those people because they were really, for the most part, pretty cool, pretty great people, really nice.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I didn't feel like a part of a really solid core part of like, I had smatterings everywhere, and I had a few close people, and that's sort of always been the case. Like I always just have a few close people, and I think that's wonderful. I love that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just saw pretty recently. Did you see the documentary about Kurt Cobain, Montage of Heck?
I didn't see it.
It's so good. It's so good. And I think it really just demystifies him and who, like, the myth that built up around Kurt Cobain and just kind of like this front man of a musical movement and the voice of a generation, my generation. And he was, an outsider and shy and hurting, but not. And yeah, he was angry.
Frozen.
Yeah, I think we lost her.
Come back to us.
Come back. So many people leaving the chat and coming back. How did you guys get into that subject while I was gone?
We started tap dancing.
Okay.
And then we just decided to talk about books.
Okay, apparently.
Yeah. I was noting that Carly writes about outsiders.
Oh.
So,
okay.
Curious, yeah.
Okay, well, I think she froze, which happens sometimes. So, I guess we'll just start with another topic until she gets back.
Okay.
So, what draws you to the fantasy genre? Because I remember you talking about it, like you did another video for me and you were so fantasy. So what just makes you love that?
What doesn't make me love fantasy is the question. I love writing about magic and possibility and things that could be real. I love that. I think it's so interesting. And one of the things I've been thinking about a lot lately is in relation to science fiction too. Science fiction is very well known for doing it, but shining a light on like current society topics, but shining it in like a fantasy or science fiction way. Star Trek has a long history of doing stuff like that. So there'll be a lot of early Star Trek episodes that deal with racism, but on another planet, because Starfleet and everybody in their world has already overcome this, which is fantastic. But they can watch it and know how it works on other planets, which is really interesting. And I just love seeing our problems in kind of a different light.
Very nice.
So.
Well, I'm glad. I love the fantasy paranormal genres. I want to date a werewolf. If you were to date either a vampire or werewolf, what would it be and why?
Oh my gosh, a werewolf, because he
Right?
only turns into a wolf part of the time instead of a vampire who either spontaneously combusts or sparkles in the sunlight, both which draw attention, and you can never go on walks together unless it's cloudy or dark. And he's a vampire all the time. So, and there's like constant supply of blood in the house, that gets messy. I don't want to deal with that.
That's true.
So.
I like mating for life. I like I like the like romantic part about it.
Oh, those are very you're looking at positives. I'm like, which one is the less awful?
Yeah, what's the lesser of two evils? Yeah, I get that. I don't know. I mean, did you know, like, I researched werewolves.
Uh-huh.
And actually this, like, the whole entire mating for life type thing, is actually just modern day.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't used to be like that. Like, all of these, like, mating things, it's brand new. It's very modern, which I didn't know that. I was like, really? So it's a little disappointing.
Okay.
But werewolves they're the shit, man.
Yeah, litter box training, you're right.
Yes.
You either gotta get them a good litter box, or you gotta take them on walks.
I'm okay with that. I'm totally okay with that. Rather than having someone bite me for my blood like a mosquito.
No, yeah, that would be like a relationship killer. Like, I need this stuff.
Yeah, it's very
true. My body produces my blood. You can only have it like if you're on the receiving end of a donor bag.
That's why there's a popular vampire series, and I can't get into it because it's about vampires and they're trying to like romanticize vampires. I'm like, I just can't deal with that.
I know a lot of people love those books though, so it's not my place to judge.
No, it's not my place to read.
But yeah, I'm not really into that.
Yeah.
It's not they tend to not be the books for me.
So what kind of magical creature then do you like? Like, would you want to marry? Like, there's fae, there's other things, there were trolls.
They're a little too they live for a very long time and they're very tricky.
Which ones?
Fae or fairy. Fae, I don't know. I don't like being tricked either, so.
Yeah. And don't you always have to tell the truth with them or something?
They always have to tell the truth.
Oh, they have to.
Yeah, I think that's how it goes. Yeah. Which would be nice, except that they're tricky. They can get around it.
Yes, they can. They can lie without lying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I don't know. I like honesty in relationships, but I don't like it if somebody's trying to get around it, or like we have to lose years because we're dancing. That sounds tough. Got people, man.
Yeah.
When I hang out with my other friends too.
Yep. So for fantasy-wise, if you were to have any, I don't know, a Superpowers fantasy, what would it be?
If I were to have like a superpower?
Yeah.
I would like to be a super genius.
Ooh.
That would be really cool. Or I would like to be able to communicate with animals. That would probably turn me into a vegetarian really fast.
Mm-hmm.
But I would probably enjoy it. Yeah, I could finally figure out what's going on in Kippy's head and why my cat is named Kippy, and why she likes to cough up hairballs right where I'm going to put my foot. But yeah, I would like to ask her about that. We're going to have a serious talk.
Okay. I'd like to hear that talk. I want to kind of see that conversation with your cat. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, it goes like, me, you use the litter box, please. Just throw up in the litter box. And saying, meow, and then rolling on this floor so that I can pet her stomach.
Right.
It's kind of what it looks like.
Conversations go, though, some of the time. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. Hi, Carly.
Hi, Carly.
Hi.
So,
sorry, my email completely failed.
It's okay. No worries. We have a question from someone. And that question is, what's something you completely changed from an early draft of the book or your book?
Of the Murmurings?
Yeah. Yeah, let's say the Orphan Queen for Jodi, and then the Murmurings for you.
Okay. Do you want to go first, Carly?
Well, mine's pretty quick. I can tell you that the second half of the book wasn't there in an earlier draft. She never went to the Behavioral Institute. In the earlier draft, she went to Oakland and had a whole adventure there. And I remember sending it to my agent, and he was like, "It's a little bummed that she didn't go there." I was like, "You're right. I think that needs to happen." So
All right.
it's the second half of the book.
Cool. For Orphan Queen, the beginning changed a lot. Not like the opening scene changed a bunch, and there used to be a prologue, and now the prologue is actually a flashback that you see toward the end of the book, in the last third.
Very nice. So thank you, Piper, for asking that question. My next question, and we have 2 minutes left. So the next question, I have a whole thing here. How about, ladies, any tips how to get through the dreaded writer's block?
Yeah, absolutely. So for me, writer's block is usually one of three things. Laziness is always the first one I check. Am I just being lazy? Probably, yes. Probably I'm being lazy. That may not be the case for you. It's okay if it is, though. No judgment. Writers are lazy. The second thing would be I made a wrong turn earlier in the draft, and I have to go back and figure out what I did wrong and how I can fix it, and only then can I move forward. And then the third thing is I've either burned myself out from working too hard and stressed out, and then I usually try to take it easy on myself. I give myself, take a nap or eat some ice cream or cookies and try not to look too much at the book for a while until I just feel recharged. And then I go back to it.
Very nice.
Definitely. I second that. Take it easy on yourself, and also, setting it aside for a little bit to recharge. And also, I was just talking about this with with some of my writing partners in my writing group, and we agreed that handwriting can often take care of that too. Just like journaling or just like writing longhand. Get away from your computer screen. Get away from the flashing, cursor, and just write longhand. Sometimes that can open a whole new door.
Plus, it gives you an excuse to buy a nice pen and a nice notebook.
I mean, who doesn't want to shop for a new moleskin? Just saying.
I want to.
All right, so last question I'm going to give both of you.
Okay.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
Right here in my pajamas, writing more books.
I mean, probably a lot grayer than I already am, with an even bigger set of eyeglasses, and hopefully writing in my pajamas too, and surrounded by my boys and my cats and trees, and obviously on the New York Times bestseller list.
Wouldn't that be nice, right?
Yeah, obviously.
Cool. Actually, I do have another question before you go. I just thought of it. Okay. So can you guys talk about your upcoming books for people who are going to ask, when is it coming out, or what is it about, or, kind of like a little bit of information? And we'll start with you, Jodi, and then we'll go to Carly.
Okay. I have 3 more novellas coming out for the Orphan Queen books. So the first one's already out. It's called The Hidden Prince, followed by The Glowing Knight and The Burning Hand and The Black Knife. And then The Mirror King is the next novel that comes out in April. And then after that, I have a co-written book with Brody Ashton and Cynthia Hand called My Lady Jane, which is a comic retelling of the tragedy of Lady Jane Grey. And that comes out next summer, so summer in 2016.
Nice.
Sometimes I sleep. What about you, Carly?
My next book's already out. It's The Bargaining, and it came out in February.
Congratulations.
Thanks. Very excited about it, and I hope you all enjoy it. It's a standalone book from the Murmurings, and it's about creepy woods and takes place here in the Pacific Northwest, and it's about toxic friendships and haunting children and, you know, regrettable decisions. It's exciting. It's good stuff.
Cool.
Check it out.
Very nice. All right, and so now I'm going to talk about the giveaway. Carly, you said you're going to do a giveaway. What are you going to give away?
I'm going to give away a copy of The Bargaining.
Awesome, The Bargaining. And is it going to be USA, Canada, International, which one?
U.S.
Okay, U.S. So,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, Carly's going to give away The Bargaining, as you just said, USA only. And Jodi is going to give away any of her Incarnate books. So it's a trilogy, so any one of those. And hers is USA only as well. This will end next week, which is the 25th. And I was going to say, oh yeah, in order to enter, I should say that, this live chat is going to become a YouTube video. So when this becomes a YouTube video, I'd like you to comment on that video with a way to contact you. So if you win, it can be an email, it can be Twitter handle, anything basically, just something to get a hold of you. And I will pick a winner on the 25th. So thank you so much, Jodi and Carly, for being here and talking. And this was a lot of fun. So thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
It's been great.
Okay. So I can't wait to see or read your upcoming books, and actually The Bargaining. I would love to pick that up. And I will see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
Rachel. Bye, Jodi.
Bye.